Through the depths of my memory, she came walking. Through the fog of my conscience and the darkness of my mind, came piercing her light. Searching for something even I never knew existed within me.
And what happens is that some cells within the brain, in selected areas of the brain, become sick and then eventually die.
In terms of the symptoms, there are three main aspects to the disease. The first is movement symptoms or motor symptoms, and the hallmark is chorea, which are extra flowing type of movements that are involuntary. People can also have dystonia, which is extra muscle contraction and excessive posturing and can be painful as well. People can also have behavioral problems where they have impulsiveness or poor attention, and cognitive issues as well, where they can have memory troubles or executive functioning where simple or complex tasks become more difficult to do.
My brother died a year and a half ago, and my other brother's dying, and I'm starting to feel all my, my symptoms come up and stuff. I'm dropping things, coffee, and I'm banging into stuff.
It's a genetic disorder, which means that it's inherited from a mother or father, and if you have a parent with it, you have a 50% chance of inheriting the disease. If you get the gene, you're going to get the disease. That's pretty clear.
Oh, you don't like the tangles in your hair? Nah, I don't either. It's easy to get with my hair, too. When was the last time you had your hair cut? Long time?
There's no effective treatment to stop the underlying problem within the nerve cells of the brain. So the treatment is effectively symptomatic and supportive. I rather think of it as a long illness, and the needs of the patient change over the course of the illness, and so the sort of help that they require changes over time, and sometimes they need to see different specialists at different times in the illness.
I'm fairly okay with the fact that I will get sick one of these days, and that I'm not going to let this thing, drag me down.
What have I become? These scars are lucky. They can move on, leaving everything behind. They don't have to stay and rot with memories. They don't need to. What can I do when even this canvas can't provide me an out? Instead, feeding me with tears, pain, and the haunting memories that follow. I still remember the first time she gave me this watch. She said it would help me sleep, just like she passed on her habit of collecting things. She said they will help me remember better, and yes, they do. They haunt me now. After all the things and time we had shared, nothing mattered to her. She took the easy way out, leaving me, trapping me forever. Sometimes I feel the only way to escape the bonds of a memory is to follow her path, to end my life. Hello, Uncle.
Sorry, I had to come now. So, how are you holding up?
I'm trying, but
You will recover, don't worry. It's a big thing you have been through. It'll take time.
so why are you here at this hour?
Well, I need to leave tomorrow, so I
Don't
thought.
worry, I can take care of myself.
Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I came here to pass on something she had left with me. She intended me to give these letters to you when she could no longer remember you in her last days. But it was unfortunate that she passed away so soon.
Don't! She consciously decided to take her own life.
Try to understand, she was not herself.
No, don't blame it on that. It wasn't the reason. It couldn't be. The choice was hers.
Well, she just wanted me to make sure that you get them.
Why?
I don't know. These are for you only.
Please take them back.
Why? Don't you want to?
No, I don't. I'm in enough pain already. I don't feel like doing anything at all. She was all I had. Now I'm nothing. Now I'm empty.
But she wanted you to read them.
It doesn't matter anymore. Nothing does. You just don't know how it feels. Time doesn't move and pain doesn't heal. I'm stuck in the grief, helpless and alone.
Maybe they can help you.
No, you don't know that.
Nobody can force you. It is your choice. But remember, she always wanted the best for you. I'm sure even now she does. I can see that you're trying, but it's not helping now, is it?
I can't sleep anymore. I end up wanting for things that cannot be, for time to turn back, for a chance to change things. I end up remembering her. Little things. Sometimes even a color is enough to bring back a memory, and then I'm lost in a memory for hours or even days. And the moment I get out of it, the realization that she's not here with me anymore, nor is ever going to be, it just destroys me.
I know it's hard moving on. It's disheartening, the realization that the person who gave you the best memories ends up being another memory. But life is more than just memories. You have to move on. And this might be what you need. I think I should leave now. You take care.
What I need? I don't believe so. It's what she wants, like it always has been. Maybe it's just her way to rationalize it, make me see the other side like she used to. There's no bright side to this, not with her gone, not when she chose to leave. But can you stand not knowing? Can you resist her will? I don't understand this.
Just follow me.
It's very dark in here. I don't know if I can bear this any longer. Can you turn on the lights?
Here. Better now.
Why? Why are you doing this to me? What is this? I don't understand. Please make me understand. Just please make it stop.
Just keep reading and listen to me. Do you remember this night? Look around you and try to remember it.
Yes, of course I do. How could I not? It was that time when all of a sudden you asked me.
Would you dance with me?
It was the first time that you even took my name in weeks. How could I not remember this day? And I was as delighted as I was shocked, and as happy as I was sad. I was as I am right now.
I know how you felt, and I can imagine how you feel right now. I know my feelings were already fading. I know we were like strangers. We were already quite distant, like the earth and the moon. But that night I felt that connection again. Something moved inside me with so much of joy when I looked at you. But I did not know how long it would last, or it would ever come back to me again or not. All I wanted was to float in it with you. And so I had asked you for the dance. And it will never change. It will always be between you and me. Always.
I can't take this anymore. This is so painful. As much as I would want to spend every last moment with you, even if it is through your words, this is really painful. To read your words, to remember you, and to know that these letters too will end someday.
Come along with me. I want to take you back in time and show you things. So stay with me and walk along. Please listen to me, for it will comfort you, and you will find the light again.
Why should I?
Because I know you want to.
Don't you remember? Don't forget what she did to you. To us.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Why?
I'm not sure about the journey through the letters that she wants me to take.
The one thing I always admired in you was the ability to see the truth in things, to translate it to your heart.
What do you mean?
I mean this, the naked truth. It was her fault. Can't you see what she did to us? Just remember the first time you wanted to pain me. When she betrayed you by hiding her life from you. As if you didn't matter to her anymore. Your anger was just, but you thought it was your ego. You then decided to create me. To freeze me in a canvas so that I don't bother you anymore. But I was right in the end, wasn't I?
Stop it now! I still remember how I cared for her during her last days. Trying to make her remember things we shared. Sometimes she remembered, sometimes she didn't. At times she couldn't even bear to be with me in the same room. But I kept on trying, hoping. I blamed the disease for everything. But when she took her own life consciously, I understood that she had really forgotten me. Left me. Maybe our love wasn't strong enough to make her stay.
But she bound you and caged us, unable to be completed. Leave her, everything related to her, and let us out.
But what about you? Your pain? Abandoning the letters won't improve anything. Your pain will continue to grow. You will continue to burn from inside.
So, what do you want? Do you want us to lie here, unattended? Painting is what defines him, me and you. Without it, he's lost. He could only go back to normal when he takes up the paintbrush again, leaving every distraction behind.
Why are you doing this to me?
You don't understand this, and you just won't.
That's what I hear every time you look in the mirror.
Just go.
I can't. Not until you free me.
I just wish I hadn't started painting you. It haunts me whenever I see it.
Selfish. You're just being selfish. The moment you held the brush after her death, the moment when I took form, I knew that every stroke that made me was filled with anger, with hatred for her. You could have killed me back then itself, but you keep me here. You assume that you would build up so much hatred for her, that one day you'll be happy for her being dead. Makes me suffer even more in this cage.
You can never understand my pain.
Just get out. Who are you? I don't know you. I don't want a stranger near me. I've had enough. Just go away. Go out. Go out right now.
Those were the last words I ever heard from her.
You need to let go of your hatred. Everywhere I look around, all I can see is them being filled with your hatred and your sorrows. And it just hurts to look at them like that. To know that you cannot help them, no matter what you do.
And you think reading her last letters will free them? He will further be pushed to a place he doesn't want to go. A memory where she couldn't remember him, where she didn't need him.
You don't know that. She wanted him to read the letters, relive their shared memories. Isn't that proof enough that she cared for him till the end?
He hasn't got any answers, nor is he going to get any further on.
I don't know what you went through before me, but I can tell what you felt painting me. You wanted to hate me, but you still wanted to complete me. You wanted to shred me into pieces, but you still wanted me to be your best painting ever. Leaving aside everything, even nearly complete paintings. You wanted the hatred coming out of your brush to be replaced by love. But you couldn't. Always falling back to question her, her last days, her last memories of you. Can't you see the truth now? You wanted to know her, to know more about her. But your hatred and your ego stops you. Deep down, you know you still want this.
the sun and the sea, the crashing waves and the silver moon. March the 16th. We just got back from the vacations in an ethereal trance, still stuck somewhere in those frozen moments we have just got back from.
So you choose to bring me here.
I gave it a thought. After all that had happened between us, I thought if this worked for us the last time, then why not start out everything from here itself? Wasn't this the place we discovered, Rohan?
I hate this place now.
Just stop acting like you don't feel. I know how we both felt while making that castle. I could see the smile in your eyes. You were so absorbed that you were even singing. What was the song, huh?
Stop it now, please.
Okay, as you wish.
You think all of this is a joke, right? These letters, these memories. You don't understand a single bit of what I'm going through. Just as you didn't back then. I just hate you.
You can shout it out if you want to.
Bringing me here isn't going to change anything. Just tell me why you abandoned me.
All I can say is, I'm sorry.
Do you think just a sorry would do for what I'm going through? Just look at them. Don't they look happy to you? Then what right did you have to ruin their lives? Or was it because you were so consumed in yourself that you never saw how much he loved you?
I did see. And no one can take that away from me. No matter what that person in front of me thinks, I know this guy. And I will tell you something about him. He never touched the paintbrush again. Once he came to know about her disease, painting was the only thing he loved. But what I saw that day made me feel even more special. All I want to say that I'm thankful to him for showering me with his unconditional love, which I tried to absorb as much as I could. This place is filled with his essence, and the only thing that seems out of the place is this woman.
No, you're wrong. She's everything. She might have been a bit grumpy at times, but she's the most beautiful woman I have ever known.
I think she wants to thank you for bringing her out here. She actually needed this. Some time with you and some more. And that is all she needs from you right now. Do you remember the things we talked about?
Yes. After a long time, it felt like we had all the time in the world. And we spoke about each and everything that crossed our path that day. From the sands on the shore to the depth of the ocean, the light that gleamed on the surface of the water to the blurred bouquet of ships. And they too were staring back at us from afar. Everything that came to our minds, from sweet nothings to everything complicated. And they set upon a journey of their own, to somewhere only they knew. The breezy silence of the shore soothed our hearts, but somewhere deep down, we were reminded of the coldness that the waves kept on bringing, slowly and continuously.
Seems like he understands me now.
I never did realize when all the colors faded out, when light turned to dark. But it doesn't matter now. With your hands in mine, every star is a sun in itself.
January the 13th. It was your birthday. One that you will remember for the rest of your life. One that turned your world upside down.
No, not this. Please, I can't.
Bear with me. I haven't brought you here to hurt you again.
But I thought we were only going through the good memories.
Bad or good, each of your memory is precious to me. Stay with me. There is a reason for which I have brought you here. After 6 months and 13 days, I saw you. Those months of separation felt as I had not seen you in years. But now, you were with me. I was making the cake for your birthday. And in that moment, that's all I was thinking about. To make the cake the best that you ever had. We would have cooked. Well, that was the plan. And then, I heard you coming. Thought that you would help me out in the kitchen, at last. But then, I saw your face. That file in your hand. And then, you started shouting. No, it wasn't the plan. No, it wasn't supposed to happen that way. No, not that day.
I didn't want to shout, but the fact that he had hid something like that from me, it broke me. The next thing I realized, I was shouting at you. I had lost it and I started throwing things around, as if that would make the anguish within me somewhat bearable. It didn't. You were saying something, but I didn't hear. And then I noticed, my eyes were getting teary. I saw you. You were crying too. I didn't want to hurt you, didn't want to cry in front of you. So I thought it would be best if I had just left. You asked me where I was going, but my throat was too choked to say anything then.
After you left, I just stood there for a while, looking at the things you have thrown, thinking, what did they do to deserve this? I picked them up, one by one. And then I saw the box, lying on the floor, with a crack in its faces and hinges broken. I picked it up and tried to put it together, as if in doing so, something broken inside me would be repaired. Entire day went into it.
As soon as I walked out, I regretted the way I spoke to you. But I needed some time to grasp the reality. Everything was happening so fast.
For a week, you talked to me as if it was a mere formality. I tried to explain, but you always talking about it. So when things kind of came to normal, I thought it would be best if we just left it behind. And we did, like it never happened. But I could still feel the grief behind your smile. I knew you don't let go of things so easily. and somehow knew you'd always carry the weight around your heart. I did not want that for you.
I was angry. But more than that, I was ashamed. I couldn't understand why you chose not to tell me. I still don't. If you had just told me, I could have come back, helped you out.
I knew. That's why I didn't tell you. You would have come running to me, leaving all your exhibitions behind. I knew how hard you worked on your paintings. I didn't want to ruin it for you.
But look where I am now. Whenever I hold the brush now, it reminds me of the time when I was busy organizing exhibitions while you were going through this all alone. I can't paint anymore. It hurts.
There were times when I used to stand here, looking at the door and hoping that you would barge in and then surprise me. I wanted to be with you, but didn't want to be selfish. I knew that one day you will have to burden yourself with me as a puppet that I would soon become. And I didn't want that day to come any sooner in your life.
But I could have spent more time with you.
I loved being with you, but I didn't want my ailment to become the reason for it. Pity would have replaced the love you had for me, and that was the last thing I wanted from you. While I could remember, I know, unintentionally, I had hurt you. I wish there was a better, a less hurtful way to let you know.
I just wish you had told me before. It wouldn't have changed anything. Why didn't you trust me?
I trusted you, but I wanted that you see me like you did, like I was. But my silence ended up hurting you. I'm sorry. December the 8th. This is the final letter. I am with you, and there is no place I would rather be. So, be with me in this moment, and let this mutable moment breathe in our memories. So take your time and be with me. It was a beautiful afternoon. We could feel the chill of the winter, but the immense happiness of the sun brought a strange smile on us, a strange warmth inside us. It had been a very long time since I saw you. It took me some time to absorb you. You had grown, and this place we had always shared had grown too. Somehow, it felt even more peaceful.
The tree had grown a lot.
You remember this? Just weeks had passed since you came back from the States and I brought you here to our favorite place. You remember? You wanted me to hang this up here.
I don't know what came over me that day. From the day you had first brought me here, I felt sad for this tree. Standing here all alone, watching people pass by, watching them live their lives. A few souls would stay here for a while, but somewhere or the other, the tree touched each and every one in their highs and their lows. And yet, he stands here all alone. I just wanted him to know that we were there with him. I just wanted him to remember us like this. And I never wanted that feeling to fade away. The sound actually takes me back to that day. Makes me feel it even more. Makes me want to relive that day even more.
That sound, that sound had helped me quite a lot. All those moments that you were not here, I used to spend my entire afternoon just sitting here and listening to it. Somehow, it brought me more closer to you when you were so far away. Come here, have a seat with me. I brought something for you. Those afternoons, I would just sit here, open this box, and look at all your paintings. And somehow, I saw you in them. Just take a look at this one. You remember this? This was the first ever thing you painted for me. It always brings up a smile on my face. No matter how many times I see it, it never fades.
Well, it sure did take me a hell lot of time to complete this.
You were never able to complete a painting in a single go. And whenever you had your blocks, you'd come to me and say that you were not able to hold on to your feelings and they were just slipping through your fingers.
And as you'd always say, use your senses. Memories might die, but feelings don't. A simple reminder and a subtle stimulus is enough to take you right back to the place where you felt it. At first, I really didn't get it, but knowingly or unknowingly, you had passed on a habit of yours onto me. That one day, I saw you sitting in the room, by the window with your diary. I think you were writing a poem that day. I was standing behind the door, looking at you, and then all of a sudden you just looked straight at me. You were smiling. That moment, your eyes started to sparkle white, like the jasmine you were looking out at. While you absorbed the sweet scent of it, you plucked it out and kept it in your diary. It was as if you took a beautiful picture of that moment and stored it up in that sweet scent, using your senses. I don't remember anything much about that day, but just a feeling, an obscure one even. And somewhere, even I stored it, the essence of that moment in that scent. And that moment never died. I was happy for you being there.
Moments pass by and memories fade to black, like the flowering branches stooping over the banks, all but wither and fall into the rivers of time, and come their day are carried away beyond existence into the reaches of night, and the smell, the sweet smell, is all that is left behind. Moments will pass and memories might fade, but feelings shared will forever stay. Still listening?
I love you.
You want to wake up now or you want to sleep more?
I don't want this to end. I want time to stop. I don't want to wake up ever again.
Rohan, burn all the letters.
Just get out. Who are you? I don't know you. I don't want a stranger near me. I've had enough. Just go away. Go out. Go out right now.
you should have listened to yourself. To me, left those letters alone and picked up the paintbrush. Now look what you have done to us. To yourself. You will never be able to paint again. Now I am unfinished and caged forever. And so are you. Now suffer! Suffer!
There is one last thing I want you to have.
नहीं स्टार्ट ही है
And this is how I want you to remember me, as the woman who fell in love with you at the very first sight. You are mine, and with you I was, till the fate did us apart, and now forever I am yours. Remember me, not in pain, but in love. This is us, and now forever we will have been in love, for the rest of time, just like this.
You are no more bound up memory. You are within me, and you are free, and so am I. This is not moving on. This is acceptance. I have loved you with all my heart, and forever I will have. I have loved you with all my heart and have been loved back. All the memories we shared and the time we spent is etched and is constant in the dimensions of time. I am not sad anymore. For all the things that could have been, I am happy for all the things that were. I am happy, and in that love, I will forever remember you.
The painting is yet to be revealed. I request everyone to have a seat. The painting is yet to be revealed. We haven't completed the story yet. It was a pleasure having you. It was a pleasure sharing this story with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you people for being with us.
दबाकर चले गए पैगंबरे मौत ने जब दरवाजे पर दस्तक दी। भरे भरे हैं खौफ से लोग यहाँ, मैं इश्क करके खाली हो गया। इस कदर मशरूफ है कोई इश्क में तेरे, तो इनकार भी करे तो खुदा लगता है। फिर ना भी हो जायज़ गुस्सा इनकार पर, बज़्म रकीब मेरे खूं का तो यही मिजाज है। अंधेरे को चीर कर एक लौ भभक उठी, गुस्सा तो बहुत आया मगर मंजूरी किसी और की थी। खौफे जुल्म के बंदिशो रिवाज टूटे, काफिर व आवाम ने जब पहल